Okay, so I'm going to invite people to come to this live, as I always do. And we're going to see who joins. Let's see who joins. Okay, so tonight's live is just to talk about tomorrow. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, we're going to actually go ahead and do a what I would call a blueprint guided meditation on what to do on April 8th and to discuss why it's important, what is the intention. Andromeda Flame is actually going to co-host the live with me, and we decided that this would be the best thing for all of you to gather your tribe members to do on April 8th. I can't stress how important this was. This is going to be for you. This is going to be for you in this incarnation and quite possibly some future incarnations. If you're in a twin flame journey and you're doing it to get your twin black back, hi, how are you? Thanks for the hearts. Hi. If you do April 8th to get your twin back, please don't do it, because that's not why we're doing this. This is about us being the gardeners. We are the gardeners who are about to plant trees, fruit trees. And I don't know if you guys know, but sometimes, quite often, it takes 7 years before a fruit tree is planted from sapling to bear fruit. You will be the gardener who will plant seeds and trees where you will not, quite possibly you will not be there to bear fruit. Many of you will, many of you won't, okay? Let's be real. So why we're doing this is because many of us as starseeds have awakened to the fact that we are the gardeners. We are the caretakers. We are the gatekeepers. We are the protectors of Pachamama. And many of us have done it in multiple ways, from being straight up eco-conscious and activist to having a little plot of land and growing our tomatoes, even in a little pot. But we now understand who Pachamama, Bhumi, Gaia, Mother Earth is, and we know, okay? There are really dark forces at work. If you haven't already heard, if you haven't already looked up the red heifer, I've been posting a lot of stuff on the red heifer to help you in going down that rabbit hole. Anything that demands a sacrifice is for the wrong reasons, because, my friends, throughout history, no matter what country you came from, we have incarnated into various places around this planet where sacrificial rituals were demanded for whatever reason. And we now know, as more evolved souls in these 3D bodies with very similar filters than we had at 2,000-3,000 years ago when such things were demanded, that this will only bring dark entities and dark and negative and, energy. Okay, so that's happening in a certain part of the world. If you've been following me, you'll know where it is, right? We kind of know. The blue and white team. Okay, they've decided that this is a good idea. So the goal is not to concentrate on what you don't want, because what you resist persists. Which I wish I could give credit to who said it first, but I can't. I don't know who said it. But what you resist persists. So the last thing you want to do is concentrate on what you don't want. Okay? You only concentrate on what you want. And so on April 8th, when the portal is open, and they are going to be much more powerful than the Lion's Gates have been. I don't know if you've noticed, but every year the Lion's Gates have been more and more potent and powerful. This is big, the solar eclipse. There's a reason why certain elites are paying attention to this particular portal. And I don't need to know all the details. Follow the money, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll realize what I'm saying is not off track. Many people are poo-pooing what this is and actually what it means and its importance. But as we know, as you all know, my dear beautiful brothers and sisters, these portals exist. They open and close. You've seen it in action for yourself. And this is a global portal. And the universe is holding its breath to see how many of us will show up, not for our own desires, but for the greater good and desires of the collective. Okay? And that's going to be really, really important. Okay? And so as you go through this process, okay, of deciding what you want to envision, what my friend, my beautiful friend Andromeda Flame, and I have decided is that it would be best, because we're doing our own little group on Zoom, right? We're doing our own little group, and I'll tell you why. Because many people aren't going to want to wake up at 5:21 a.m. in the morning. And in other words, waking up at 5:15, throwing cold water on your face, getting your act together, getting sage ready, boom, 5:21, it's time, it's action time, right? And many people aren't going to want to do it, or they're going to want to do it for the wrong reason. So we've decided to keep it as a little circle of people who were really intending on that. And I'm really asking you to do the same. I don't care if the circle is just you and a girlfriend, or you and a friend, or you and your twin, or you and a high-level soulmate. I don't care. As long as your intention is to escort this beautiful planet out of this mess that it has been forced to endure, including us as its children, for thousands of years. So I'll answer your questions in a minute. So if you can share the live, that would be, thank you, Sunshine, for sharing the live. That's very kind. Double T, if you can share the live, any of you share the live. We will really need starseeds to do this, okay? This is yeah, you're gonna, if you're in California, if you're in Oregon, if you're in Washington, right, state, yes, or Arizona, you're gonna probably have to wake up at 2:15 in the morning to be ready to rock and roll at 2:21. Some of you are insomniac anyway. You might as well stay up. You know what I mean? Like, don't even put your clock on. Just stay up. Thank you, Becca, for sharing the live. And for us in upstate New York, wherever the hell we are on the East Coast, we're going to have to get up at 5:15 a.m. And for you guys in central Chicago, the central part of this country, you're going to have to wake up at 4:15 a.m. to be ready to rock and roll at 5:21, 4:21, 3:21, 2:21 in the morning, okay? The portals are opening. There's a solar eclipse. There's a lot of action happening. Now, see, we've had these line gates, and I'm going to tell you something. I don't remember the elites getting ready to do a damn thing about those. I'm sure they did it under, covertly, but not to this level of public display of massive evil. The fact that they've decided it's okay to burn a heifer, and to gather its ashes to purify their sins, purify what sins, and what sentient being, what God would want that kind of sacrifice? Just think about it. What does that mean to you? When you think about that, doesn't that feel barbaric to you? Doesn't that feel weird? And so what I love about Krishna, I remember reading something, I wish, I'm paraphrasing it. Krishna said, bring me anything. Bring me a rock, bring me a seashell, bring me the petal of a flower, as long as your heart is in devotion to me, right? So that's pretty exciting. That's pretty exciting when you have a divine entity, God or Godhead, part of the Godhead consciousness, only wants you to bring him a rock, her a rock, Sophia, a pebble, a quartz crystal, a feather, anything, but your heart is there. Your heart is in devotion to God. So whenever somebody's asking for more than that, somebody, and I'm going to say the word somebody, they're full of shit and they're not a god and they're up to no good. Anything less than that. In other words, if you're being asked, or there's a ritual that is asking for BLOOD, that's a problem. That's a massive problem. Because at this point, it goes back to, I don't know if you know this, But I'm very into ancient Rome, ancient culture, and so forth. So Baal, the god of the Carthaginians, aka the Phoenicians, demanded those kinds of sacrifices, and so Rome, when Rome was attacking Carthage, the Carthaginian, Hamilcar Barca made a pact, had his sons, in particular Hannibal, made a pact that he would grow up to destroy Rome. Okay, and the pact was done under Baal, which was a god of ill repute, and the thunder god, also known as the thunder god. But most importantly, there was a demand for sacrifice, and here we go again. Here we are, 21st century. And those dastardly deeds are still being demanded of. Now, we know, if you ever listen to David Icke, he talks about it pretty well, about various elites who do this, that, and the other. I don't have to go into details. I think you can connect the dots. And we're there. And this portal is being used. And it's very public, this portal that they're using. And I find it very interesting that it was on CBS, it was on CNN, nonchalantly, like they were talking about bad weather in Texas, like very nonchalantly. So the fact that the Alpha channel picked it up like it was no big deal is pretty interesting to me as well. So this portal must be badass, or else they would not be doing this at all. And they would have not waited like 4 to 5 years to find their little red heifers. So with that said, we are here to co-create something much better. We're here to co-create, yes, a utopian, the kind of utopia that you have, that you miss as a starseed. You miss home, right? You've always missed this home, this sense of loss. Well, one of the homes is God, or the energy of Godhead, and the other energy are actual homes that you've been in, where the infrastructure was kinder and the resources were plentiful, and it was a different type of system. And so here we are. Yes, are they planning on sacrificing those heifers in relation to the eclipse? Yep, that's what I'm talking about. So as I spoke about this, we went from, 39 people to 21. And I find it interesting that what I'm going to ask you to do is go down the rabbit hole. Just put red heifer April 8th and just go down the rabbit hole. CBS, look it up. Don't take my word for it. Just look it up. Do it. Okay, don't be complacent. Don't be lazy. Don't let your monkey mind tell you, well, that doesn't make sense. That's really not logical. I'm not the one putting that on the news. And I'm not the one doing it. I'm the one simply talking about it so that you can actually do something about it energetically. If you have such low self-esteem that you don't think you're powerful enough to do it, I can see why many people are leaving, because they want the Ken and Barbie story, and they want, I don't know what the hell they want, but there's so much ayahuasca can do for you. There's so much when pot can do for you. I suggest you go within. Am I stern? Yes, because I see the apathy, but of many, of the collective. And unfortunately, you, me, and others like us, and many, many more brighter stars than we are, to be honest, are stepping up to that power. They've probably already started, to be honest, on doing the energy work to transmute this negative, evil, dark force that's trying to come in. And listening to people who are supposedly spiritual telling you that it's the end of this and the end of that may be a lot easier for some minds to wrap their head around, because they've been trained to believe that. But I'm more of the mind of saying, yeah, let's call in Satya Yuga. Let's actually hack into timelines. Let's actually use the Akashic records and transmute the energy and change it and start writing our own stories into the Akashic records based on our intentions and our will. Thought become matter. If I'm not down to 6 people, I'll be shocked. I'm not kidding. That's why the collective, the mass, what people call the cattle of humanity, is a dangerous thing for you guys to follow. Follow your heart. Follow your desires. What is your desires in you, Earth? Is it not? If it is, then sit on that night, tomorrow morning, very early in the morning, and manifest, collect yourself. Do it for a half hour. I would do it if I were you. I know personally I'm going to do it with Andromeda Flame. Personally, we're going to do it tomorrow on at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning Eastern Standard Time, and to give you like, not to tell you what to do, but to kind of give you like a blueprint of and just suggestions. But you're going to go through it with us, and we're going to do this guided meditation to kind of give you some ideas. I would screen record it if I were you. I would take notes. I will upload it to my YouTube channel so you guys can share it with some of your compadres, your doc holidays out there that you have, if you saw my last video on that. And then we'll go from there. Honestly, we have a lot. Yep, Red Heifer CBS. Look it up. I was shocked. Yep. What do I type? Oh, thank you, sweethearts, for showing Terra Earth what to type. Yeah, it's a bitch. I'm in fucking shock because they've been talking about this red heifer, and apparently the age group knew this was happening, and that's why whatever. Anyway, I'm being very careful because I've been slam dunked twice, just so you know, for saying one of the things I was accused of saying was so insanely a lie, but I couldn't win the case, and I was banned for like 7 days. So rather than say too much, I'm giving you all the code words to look it up. Look at all my reposts. You'll see some fun animal shit because, we fucking need a break here, because if we keep going into massive depressions collectively, we're kind of fucked, and we can't keep doing this. So right now, unfortunately, we have to turn our gaze, our hearts, away from what's happening. I know the injustice, and for the next 48 hours, we need to focus on the new earth. It's all we've got a mantra or monkey man out of the corruptness that has stained our hearts with grief and hurt. And some of you I know are crying, and you can't stop crying. You know what? Nothing shocks me anymore. That's what's scary. When you stop being shocked as I have, it scares me that I'm no longer shocked. I'm no longer like, whoa, that's incredible. They did that. No, nothing shocks me anymore. So when you look up red heifer and you look up April 8th and you start, and the way they nonchalantly talk about it, like, yeah, it's about, we're having Thanksgiving. We found our perfect turkey. Yeah. Okay. And now here's the thing. You know what? I'm going to keep it there. Because if I say any more, it's going to come out really raw, and some of you don't know me well enough, okay? Many of you are my clients. Many of you are my clients. God bless you all who are here, all of you. But I need you to ask yourself this question, and I want you to answer it on this live. Do you feel you have the power to hack into the Akashic, into timelines, and rewrite and write or rewrite, whatever you think you're doing, the future of us as a collective, of your bloodline that you've embodied in other lives in this lifetime? And bloodlines, you may, believe me, if we can do this, which I know we can, get this planet out of this infrastructured shit show of the 1% elite greed into the new earth, then I guarantee that you'll want to come back here, because it's a hell of a beautiful planet. Pachamama is beautiful, and she's been asking us to do something. And the universe, because we have our free will, because it's a double-edged sword, right? Because it can harm us, free will, obviously, if we're self-destructive, or it can save us and heal us. And with that free will, we are being asked to do something bigger, greater than us, for the collective, for the greater good. It's kind of like Ubuntu, right? It's a South African saying, Ubuntu. If you hurt, I hurt. If you're not right, the whole village goes and surrounds the person who's hurting and says, tell us brother, tell us sister, what should we do? So planet Earth is hurting. Our brothers and sisters are being harmed, and they're hurting. We've got people right here on our own, beneath our soil, the soil that we share right here on these, whichever continent you're in right now, America, Australia, South Africa, I don't care where the hell you are, Europe, England, Ireland, Japan. There are people suffering because of an infrastructure that no longer works. In fact, it never worked. It never worked. That's why we had fairy tales like Robin Hood. Steal from the rich and give to the poor. What kind of shit is this? How many stories do we need to come up with? Christmas Carol. Ebenezer Scrooge finally, after being scared shitless, realizes maybe I should be a good person and not be a greedy asshole, you know? But anyway, so the point is, what we're looking to do is to prevent a massively negative energy to take hold of the planet, because this planet is called in Earth School. It is not a prison planet. Can it become a prison planet? Yes, if we allow this to happen unchecked. But the goal here is not to say, I don't want. Okay, the goal here is not to be shackled by fear of what could happen that could hurt you. The goal is to be euphoric, smile. You should have a smile on your lips. They've actually done scientific studies though. Even if you're depressed, if you smile, your whole body shifts. By the way, that's a real thing, and your consciousness shifts. So smile when you go into meditation. Smile when you start visualizing the planet as you've always wanted it, even in other incarnations. Right? So the last time we saw the planet how it should have been was probably about, they're telling me 10,000, 12,000 years ago. And that's a huge, gap in time. I understand that. I'm getting 12,000 years. 12,000 years ago, probably 100 to 200 years before Atlantis fell, we actually were really, really living the life. Okay? And then we had pockets of living beautiful lives in little villages where we were left alone 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago. We were left alone. There were no wars. We lived in the right areas where there was no wars, no conquerors, no Genghis Khans, no Roman legions, no, none of that shit was happening. Okay? The Huns were gone. There was none of that. So we were able to taste the nectar of life, the pleasures of a harvest, the pleasures of babies running around in the fields, the pleasures of planting, of rainstorms, of swimming in rivers and oceans, and fishing, and building your home where you wanted to build your home, and not have to pay taxes, not beg and borrow and steal to survive, to grow your own food, to barter butter for a quilt or a feather bed or whatever. You know what I mean? All of this was happening, and we lost touch of it. And for many of us who are starseeds, we miss that. We remember it. And one of the lines I wrote in my poem, You, we've had many homes, none are permanent, and yet all are dear to me, all are dear to us. And there's the reverberation of those beautiful golden times that we had with our soul tribe, and we want it back. And we need to claim it back. And so my question to you now that I've gone on and on and on, is, do you feel powerful enough? Do you feel worthy to yourself to manifest this new earth, to manifest it? And you might say, well, we manifested that last year, and I manifested it every year, and I do it, but this is a portal. This is the portal of fucking portals. And so I'm just going to look at your answers. Let me see. Let's look. Okay, let's do this. Wonderful. No, not really, but intent goes a long way. Yes. So intent, yes. Odd Melon, if you can't do it for yourself, then do it for someone else. Because I know, Odd Melon, that if you were to do something to gift the gift of life to someone else, your self-worthiness may not give it to yourself, but you would definitely give it to someone else. You're probably an overgiver. Okay, so let's overgive to this cause, because this is it. This is the portal we've been waiting for. Let's do this. NASA has admitted that they are replacing the sun with the Dyson sphere on Monday. What the fuck? I've got to look. I'm doing a screenshot of this. Did you guys see that? Tracy 0506. NASA has admitted that they are replacing the sun with the Dyson sphere on Monday. That is beautiful. Yes, I'm ready. I know. Yes, I know it's my destiny. Terra Earth, my friend. You can't have a name like that and not do it. My ancestors are coming to me in my dreams and telling me. And remember about your ancestors. Your ancestors in this life, in past lives, in future lives, across all planets and dimensions. Don't get locked into your current bloodline. Do not get locked into your current bloodline. Okay? Don't do that. Your ancestors in this life, past lives, future lives, across all dimensions and planets, who only wish you love, kindness, and protection and abundance, right? You make sure you say that, because we had some fucking psychopaths who were some of our ancestors, okay? For all you know, one of your ancestors was Genghis Khan, or mine. Who the hell knows? Okay, so be careful with what you bring in, okay? You don't red carpet the term. People are not as careful they should be. I was talking to a client of mine who's a hairdresser, right? And I was telling her, if you sage the hair, because she uses real hair for weaving, right? I said, if you sage the hair, like you literally did a whole thing where you sage the hair and remove the energies, did some, a mantra to neutralize the energy out of the hair, you would probably kick some ass. You could probably charge an extra $150 for that. And guess what I started seeing in the last 3 months after doing, no, actually it was 5 months after doing her reading. I did a hypnotherapy for her and a reading. I saw people talking about the energy of people's hair. So everything has energy, vibration, right? Reverberation of the vibration. So depending on what consciousness is happening to a person, like even hair. So can you imagine if that, it's cut, it's, I don't know if you guys ever remember the story Colette or Les Miserables, the book Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Hair, the grief that she felt in giving the last glory of her beauty, right? Which was actually the first glory of her beauty, which was her hair, and then it was her teeth, then it was, I don't know if you remember that. But when you call upon something, make sure you're specific. I know I should have been more specific in some of my manifestations, right? So don't confuse that. For example, I'll give you an example. I want a house in Greece, right? And the house is beautiful. Everything in that house works perfectly. It's the right square footage. It's not too big. It's not too small. It gives enough room for everyone to have their own privacy, but it's small enough so that everyone is connected to each other. We can hear each other's voices. We don't have to, have an intercom system, right? This house has a beautiful ocean view, and the ocean view is always safe. The ocean is always safe. The ocean is always far away enough so that it's safe, and yet it never grows any bigger than, you got to be specific, 10 feet, 10 feet, maybe at most 15 feet. Things like that, because you don't want to be in a certain area. I don't know if you guys know that, but in certain parts of Europe, especially in Italy, I remember the sea walls to keep the waters from really coming in too much and too high. So be specific, okay? That would be good to be specific. Cool background, thank you. There are ancestors, but they are of different nationalities, but I feel them in their purpose. That's fantastic, Terra Earth. I love hearing that. That's wonderful. Any other question? We're notifying viewers that you're live. That's interesting. I don't see why are you supporting me in this today suddenly? Anyway, yeah, so any questions, any comments at all? Any comments or questions? Anything you guys want to say? So you're ready. NASA's doing some more fuckery. Remember, NASA also uses Sanskrit to code AI and their massive computers. I keep saying that. Why? Because I keep wanting to push mantras on you, because I want you guys to control your monkey minds. The more you chant, the better you're going to do. The more you chant, the better you're going to do. The more you chant, the greater skill set you have in controlling your monkey mind. The greater skill set you have in controlling the monkey mind, the more divine downloads you'll get. Okay? I'm going to do a reading real quick on the collective. Are you here, or did we freeze? Did it freeze for some reason? It looks like we're here. We're notifying. Okay, can you hear me? I just want to know, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you there? Okay, good. Thank you, Becca. So let's look at the energy. I'm just going to do a quick spark. Okay, Two of Swords is stagnation. Unfortunately, many of you don't want to see what's going on. I'm being blunt. Two of Swords is a woman with a blindfold over her eyes. There's a hurricane coming. Her swords are crossed over her chest, and she's like deer in the headlights. Be very, very clear. Okay, this is something you have to look at. Do not hide your hiding your vision from what is barreling isn't going to save you. What's going to save you is saying, oh yeah, okay, here it comes. You know what? I'm going to visualize what I want. Fuck this. I'm not going to go for that story. I'm going to rewrite history right now. I'm going to do it. The world is 21, the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. Let me look at what else is coming up. And the Knight of Wands is in and out, wishy-washy energy. Be careful with that. Be careful, okay? Like, all I need you to do is focus on April 8th. All I need you to do is, if you actually sleep well, put your alarm clock for 2:15, 3:15, 4:15, or 5:15 in the morning in the U.S. 2:15 would be West Coast. 5:15 is the East Coast. I'm going to tell you something. When the harmonic conversion happened, and of course, you know, that would have been 1980 something. I think it was 87. I forgot exactly when it was, but it was 87 or 88, something like that. I fasted for 3 days. No one told me to fast. No, I didn't have a guru. I didn't have anyone telling me this was important. But when the harmonic conversion came in, something clicked in me going, this is big. And I knew it. And at the age of 23 or something, whatever the hell I was, I fasted. And I fasted because I knew. Now, I'm not telling you to fast. I'm telling you to wake up in the morning, early morning. You can always go back to bed. Fucking, many of you I'm asking, call in sick. This is too important of a day for you to miss it. This is not, well, my job. How many people have said that if you passed away, your job will be replaced within a week? Believe me, you're expendable. But this is not. This is far-reaching power. And we have to make sure that we do the right thing to planet Earth and for our own ancestors. So many that are being lived by other people. We are their ancestors, like say if you're not Native American, you're probably the ancestor of a Native American person, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense? All right, let's keep going. Ace of Swords is speak the truth, do the truth, cut away things. Wheel of Fortune is turning. Temperance upright is transformation. It's a soft transformation into the Emperor energy. Is the Emperor energy is good? Is this a good idea for them? Is this a positive energy? Emperor can be sometimes stoic. Chariot, fast-moving energy. Cancer energy. Five of Pentacles, feeling homeless. Stoic energy. The Wheel of Fortune keeps coming up with the Emperor. Let me tell you something. You guys need to forget the stoicism, okay? Marcus Aurelius is a good read. But the man was brilliant. But don't get me wrong. Stoicism isn't what we need right now. We need your heart chakra to beat with joy, a new beginning. Okay? When do I need to set my time? I'm in the U.S., Texas. I don't know where that is. Is that central? If that's central, then just look up 5:21 a.m. New York, right? Just look it up and then look up what that would be in Texas. Just Google that. It should come up, no problem. I don't want to tell you the wrong time and then you screw up and you're like, oh shit, the portal already closed. The portal is opening. So look that up. Central. So yeah, Central would be 1 hour. But still, just make sure. Just check. Just Google it right now. Just go on Google and put Texas, what time is it now? And then you'll say, and what time is it now to New York or Boston or whatever state you want to look at on the East Coast. But Central typically, I'll give you the byline. West Coast, California, whatever, is 2:15 a.m., which, because the portal opens at 2:21, so 2:15, Mountain is 3:15, Central is 4:15, and upstate, East Coast is 5:15. So that, but I just want to make sure it's correct. Make sure. All right, so they're saying the stoicism is here, fast-moving changes, feeling homeless. Feeling homeless would be somebody who's actually in the midst of this intention and feeling like, I would need to do this tomorrow night for Monday. No, you would do it Monday. The portal's open Monday. So we're doing April 7th, just as at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. tomorrow, my friend Andromeda Flame and I are going to do this kind of like practice run, if you will, to give you like ideas for Monday the 8th. But it's Monday the 8th. That means, in the early mornings of Monday, you will be waking up to do this thing. Alicia, I don't want to repeat myself, no offense. Just look at the thing. It's the ritual for April 8th, okay? And I'm saying ritual because I can't think of it. It's a ceremony, actually. to counteract what they're going to be doing with the portal on April 8th and the red heifer and the sacrifice and all that crazy shit they're doing. And I mean crazy shit. So so what they're saying is that you'll be stoic, you'll be in your power, and things will go really fast, and then suddenly something's going to hit you as if you're not, oh well, I can't do this, I'm not powerful. Something's going to, your monkey mind or some other influence outside of you is going to try to make you believe that what you're doing doesn't make sense and it's not going to do shit. The Wheel of Fortune saying, what do you want to do about this? Tell me more about this power. The Lovers is make your choice. Tell me more about this. The King of Cups is be in your heart. It's going to be very volatile. A King of Cups to that energy can be very volatile. King of Cups also says be in your heart. Empress energy is Pachamama. Boom and Gaia. You need to be in your Empress energy. I don't care if you're a man. Be in your Empress energy. What does that mean? The cornucopia of abundance. Empress literally means Gaia. It actually is connected to Gaia. So creativity, abundance, and so forth. So for a minute, so maybe 2 or 3 minutes, you're going to be in that ceremony within yourself, doing your meditation. You've saged yourself. You're calling your angels for protection. You're doing it. You're feeling it. You're like, you know what? I'm going to sit through this for 30 minutes. I'm going to visualize the planet. It's going to be bad. It's going to be amazing, beautiful. I'm going to see children running around. I'm going to see everyone thriving. People have land. People can build whatever the hell they want as long as it's safe. But you won't need to pay tax upon tax upon tax upon tax upon tax. It's going to be where we work with healers, preventive care. I don't know if you know this, but in China, did you know this? In China, doctors are docked if somebody gets sick in the village. Did you know that? No one's expected to get rich as a doctor, okay? I have friends who are nurses, physicians. They work their asses off. In particular nurses, but this idea that preventive care is not important, just the care of the issue when it's too late is really just so cross-eyed logic. It's like shocking. So what I'm seeing is as you're sitting there, there's going to be a problem with your minds just kicking into this place of lack, fear. Oh shit, it's not going to work. My monkey mind just went somewhere else. My monkey mind just saw the apocalypse. Yeah, bring it back. Did you know that you're being influenced by other dark forces? And you need to just literally, this is not a war. Do not fight this. Do not fight this. You're supposed to just go bring your mind back to this beautiful vision of planet Earth. That's your job. This is not an arm wrestling contest. This is not Terminator in your head. This is not, you're not Sarah Connor, okay? What you are, okay, to be blunt, is you are escorting the planet into 5D. Now, you may say, well, look, tomorrow morning, Tony, on Tuesday, will we be in 5D? Ha, ha, ha. No. If I plant a tomato seed and 24 hours later, do I have a tomato? No. It's going to take a while for it to do its thing, to do its magic, to get fertilized, to bust out of the seed, to crack through the soil, to grab the sun, to be nourished by oxygen and light and your love and your attention as you're watching this miracle of one seed bringing you a bushel of tomatoes, right? It's going to take time. But is the seed been planted successfully? Yes. Yes, it has. And that's really the goal, isn't it? Let's plant the seeds and let's do it. This portal is not going to happen for a long time. I heard somewhere, and again, in passing, I got a lot on my mind. I got a lot of other things, just like you do. We all have issues. Believe me, we're all dealing with a lot of material fuckery from outside forces. Believe me, and you might be actually feeling it in the physical realm, or you could be feeling it in the emotional realm, right? Where you're feeling massively depressed and you're like, wait a hang on, wait, is this even my depression, or am I feeling somebody else's? Do not think of your twin if you're in separation, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because that is a triggering mechanism to bring you back down to the Five of Pentacles, which is feeling homeless. So just chant and breathe very deeply through and push past any images of your twin, because you're not trying to do this for your twin. As a matter of fact, That's the magic and potency of your intention. You're not even doing it for yourself. You're doing it for others. And in doing it for others, the irony is that you're feeding your soul and you're feeding your twins. But do not, and this is my caution to you, do not allow your monkey mind to go down the rabbit hole of my twin and we're in separation and I want him to be part of my 5D world and I want him here, I want her there, and I want this and I want, don't do the want. Go and do the what is best for this. Show me the way. What else should I wish for in this beautiful healing moment that I'm having, using this portal to bend and hack into timelines and create something magical. Can you imagine the difference of energy between that pure intention and them putting a heifer up a whatever the hell it is, a ramp, and burning it? Like, do you see the consciousness here? Do you see how demented? And so do you see how just you simply sitting in your heart chakra and feeling all this love and joy for this planet into 5D, how beautiful that is as compared to the fuckery of that consciousness? Can I convince you to just stay on track for at least 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes? I actually implore you to do it because we need as many of you as we can. Okay? So I'm going to upload this video online on my YouTube channel. And no offense, but I have to protect my energy right now because I'm doing the 10 a.m. There's a lot of things I'm preparing tomorrow for this portal opening on April 8th. So if you want to find out what you missed, feel free to go on my YouTube channel. It's on my Linktree profile, right? It's just go on my profile page. I'll upload it as soon as TikTok lets me upload it. And just put a bell on it, just go ahead and follow me on on YouTube, and as soon as it comes up, you'll be notified. I hope you will. But anyway, put a bell on my thing, just on YouTube, and you should get notified as soon as this comes up. But do you have any other questions besides me repeating what I just said for the last, 30 minutes, if you don't mind? Any other questions? Because if you don't hear it in my voice, if you know me, you know I'm exhausted by just listening to me. But I definitely wanted to do that. I promoted the video on my TikTok. There's a video that kind of gives you the timelines right now. So go on my profile page and look at the video also. And look up Red Heifer, April 8th, 2024. And we'll go from there. You know what I mean? Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate it. Let me see, what else do I have to tell you? This is, if you allow your analytical mind to control this ceremony, you will fail. You have to go into your heart chakra. You have to go into your little girl, little boy, the one that actually believes in magic. Okay? When was the last time you laughed like a 7-year-old or a 4-year-old? That's what I need you to understand. Is that if it's been a while since you really laughed your ass off to the point of losing your mind, and it feels so damn good. You've forgotten how great it was to laugh to that level of joy and surrender and exuberance for just that moment of laughter. Then try to tap into that inner child, because many of us have become. I know I've become stern. I used to be much more playful and much more fun and goofy and silly until COVID lockdown happened. And then, to be honest with you, I got pissed the fuck off. I got really pissed off at the compliance and at the fear factor that was being used against the collective. So the 5D that we're looking at is very simple, okay? It is something that we can actually, again, hack into timelines. Manifestation is all about your self-worth. It's also 100% about how you feel. Fuck affirmations if you feel like shit. You can say, I'm always winning, but you feel like shit and you're massively depressed. Yeah, that's going to work. Not at all, okay? But when you manifest and you feel fantastic, you're in the shower, you're like, wow, how does it feel to have a life where abundance of everywhere, abundance of love, health, and wealth. Like I have my beloved, I have children. If I have children, if I don't, I'm happy. I've got these projects. I travel all over the world. I have amazing friends, amazing food, amazing experiences. How does it feel? How does it feel? Feels amazing. Show me. And it's just, you should be glowing and pulsing. That's how manifestation works. It's not what you say so much as how you feel when you visualize it. And when you add sex magic to all that, it's like fucking the Big Bang. You've just started to co-create a new world, yours, with that energy, with the universe. So manifesting tomorrow with us as a say practice. Think of it as a wedding, wedding practice, right? I forgot what they call it. A wedding. I don't know what they call it, but anyways, when you practice right before your wedding. Okay, so it's a dry run, and it's for you. And then on April 8th, you're all cut loose to do what you got to do. But I'm telling you, make sure you're doing it for the greater good. Do not have your own agenda in there at all, except you're enjoying it with others, and everyone's just happy, and everyone's free to express themselves, free. Imagine, the song imagine all the people, imagine no passports, no continents too, no flags, no religion too. Yeah, imagine. And that's what you want to imagine. So if you want to listen to John Lennon's, I just got that download. Listen to John Lennon's Imagine to get an idea of what he was saying. And they just showed me John Lennon with Yoko Ono, peace. All we want is peace, right? All we want is peace. Well, guess what? We're putting the powers that be under notice. We want more than peace. We want you to get the fuck out of our business. We want to live the way we want. We want to raise our kids. We want to have villages. We want to trade. We want to be happy. We want to live and attract the frequency of our matches. It would not be like Burning Man, because Burning Man attracts all sorts of frequencies, and that's why there's chaos quite often. I actually met the guy who set up Burning Man decades ago. So my point to this is this. It's not a Burning Man situation you're co-creating. It's frequency matches. That means your moral values, their moral values are similar. What is similar? I don't steal. Good, neither do I. When I'm angry, I like to talk about it. Good, so do I. I always want good solutions. Great, me too. There's plenty for everyone. I agree. Where do you want to build your house? Over there. Okay. I just want a little more room. I really don't want to see you. That's fine. I'll build my house farther down. We want an energy of people who work together, who don't have high egos. It's funny, and they keep saying the meek shall inherit the earth, and I never understood it until I realized, what does that mean, meek? Weak, right? I always thought it meant weak. No, it means people who don't want war, people who don't want greed, people who are generous, people who are overgivers. And so we're creating a new earth that has that same vibrational match. So it's not at all like a Burning Man example. At all. Not at all. Not even close. Okay? That's not to denigrate Burning Man, by the way, on the side note. It's to say that's not the same, because the frequencies are not going to be all over the place. They're going to be match frequencies in different places around the world. And so is that what you want? Or do you want to be afraid of the food you're buying because you're not sure if it's healthy? Do you want that? Or do you want to wonder how you're going to pay your grocery bill? Or is it going to be grocery bill or the rent? Is it going to be the heat or the rent? This is what I'm saying. So we're creating something that may be very foreign to you and very, what's the word I want to say? Very like utopian in your mind. You might even have friends going, oh, that's just hairy, fairy, pie in the sky. Polarity is important. There's always going to be wars. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. Because for a while, like 12, 13,000 years ago, there were no wars. Lemuria is a good example. Lemuria. The frequencies started changing when the Atlanteans got into their egos. And they got stupid and greedy. Okay? And cruel. and playing little games with all kinds of genetic manipulation, all kinds of games. I remember reading that when I was a kid. But Ruth Montgomery was an amazing. I don't know how she's been forgotten over time, but she was a channeler, an incredible channeler who wrote a lot about Mu, a lot about Mu, aka Lemuria, wrote a lot about Atlantis, and understood how these energies worked. And for a while, one of the things she had said, or she had channeled rather, not said, was the fact that in the Atlanteans started playing games with genetic manipulation, which included centaurs, satyrs, mermaids and mermans, and so forth. So they were doing all kinds of gruesome, weird things with humanoids and animals. Weird shit. That were not, that were going against the grain. Now, if you've ever read, and I keep mentioning this guy again and again and again, Zachariah Stitchin is very big. I think he's growing in popularity now with the new crowd because you've got a lot of content creators who are super talented with animation who are retelling their stories through their animation. But suffice it to say, the Anunnaki, the characters that he writes about are characters that he found on Sumerian tablets, which he translated into English and those were the Anunnaki who created us. So of course, why wouldn't the Atlanteans, who were many of them Anunnaki originally, why wouldn't that be true about genetic manipulation? And eventually, it all went downhill, as you well know. Because of greed, and that was the fall of grace. That you could say that was when we got thrown out of Eden, but it was Atlantis that created that whole dynamic, the fall. And when we fell, we lost some of the powers of our chakras. We lost our telepathic powers. We lost our ability to see beyond. We lost our sixth dimensional powers, seventh dimension for some who were the founders of Atlantis. We lost so much. When we fell, that was the dark night of the soul for the collective. And it lasted for thousands of years. So here we have a portal on April 8th. Yeah, let's get up early and make sure that we manifest with joy and laughter and we do it all right. The person that has been really active through COVID lockdowns is Sasha Stone. Lazarus, you can look it up, Lazarus on YouTube, Lazarus Initiative. You can also look it up on the official Sasha Stone. I believe that's how he has a small beard and long hair. He looks like a rock and roll star because he was a rock and roll star. Very rich, and he lives in Bali, and he's very big on these portals. And I've been following here and there. During the lockdown and COVID, he was absolutely the most irreverent, angry as hell on what was happening. He knew it was bullocks. He knew it was all bullshit. And he was very vocal to the point where he lost his YouTube channel. And then somehow, some way, thank God, he's been brought back. But a lot of people lost their voice on YouTube and during that time. And were warning us and telling us what many of you know. And so when you look at this portal, as we move further into 2024, know this, the Lion's Gate will also be a portal I'll probably be talking about. And I will be watching the elites to see if they're paying attention to certain portals. I'm going to be watching them now. It's kind of like watching senators buying stocks, insider trading, but wink, wink, no one's going to say anything. Have you heard about that? Where people are literally, there's a website, or I think it's an app that follows what senators are buying to buy in because they know that they know something that none of us do because, we're not allowed to know anything. And this app is actually helping people become rich, which, by the way, on the side note, I'll be looking into that too. So with that said, with portals, chasing portals, I'll be looking at, and I invite you to look at what the elite are doing, what's going on with the portals, the Mercury retrogrades, Lion's Gate, other things coming into play. And let's share each other those datas. Like, hit me up. You guys, some of you are my clients. You can text me personally. You can also hit me up on my website or whatever. But I want 2024 is a bitch. Okay, this is the final stand, and I'm not going to call it a battle because we're not battling anything. We are co-creating with the universe. We do not have to fight anyone. We turn our backs on the fuckery of these evil-minded people, sentient beings, and we turn our attention to light and to how to co-create what we want. That's all you need to do. It's not a fight. It's not a war. It's not a battle. I'm not going to call it that anymore because I don't want to seed that into your brain. What I want to seed into your brain is the knowledge that if you feel euphoric, you should actually 10 minutes into your meditation within yourself, right? Visualization, breathing, pranayama, when your monkey mind starts slaying you with negative thoughts or images, chanting Om Shanti Shanti, right? For example, rocking into it, literally rocking your body out of this negative pull that is going to be there, okay? We are going to be attacked, but we will not attack back. We will not be offensive, defensive. We will do none of that. We won't have to. What you are going to do is just go back into smiling within the inner smile. And you're going to go back, and you should, within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just start either tearing up and being an absolute joy of the images of the new earth that you're seeing and the experience. And how does it feel to live like that? How does it look? How do other people feel? Does everyone feel safe? Yeah, everyone's safe. Wonderful. Is there any issues with other human beings? Yes, but it's resolved. How? Because the ones who are wiser, powerful, support those who may be weaker, controlled by their monkey mind in negative fashion, and they support and they protect until that energy is dissipated, dissolved, and transmuted. There is no need for the kind of polarity we've been brainwashed to believe in. Again, I love the elite. They're so smart. They really are. They know exactly how to brainwash all our fears into more fears and all our self-doubts into more self-doubts. And they've done it very subtly. I urge you to watch The Secret with Rhonda Byrne, the opening scene, when she's talking about the Emerald Tablet, which, by the way, was written by Thoth, an Anunnaki, which is mentioned in Zachariah Stitchin's books, The 12th Planet, and all. He's got I bought his whole series, not his whole series, that's a lie. I bought I think 7 of his books, which are in storage, which are coming to me. And once they come, I'll start reading from those pages to you. I love reading to you guys. Let me see what else. Thank you, Becca. Yes. It's good to see you. Thank you for all the following. So I just want to make sure that you know what to do. I have the video. I did a quick video invitation for tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. West Coast. Mountain would be 8 a.m. and Central would be 9 a.m. tomorrow, Sunday. Andromeda Flame is joining me. We're going to do this. She's probably going to take more of the show because she's been really practicing and really more doing that. I've been doing a lot of other things that I had to do personally as well. And we'll probably open up with Gayatri Mantra, which is the mantra of all mantras. And it's not an easy mantra, but it's really worth learning. And hang on for a quick second. I'm pulling out my mantra books. Bear with me, okay? Bear with me. And 18, I love that. You know what? I just opened up to this page out of nowhere, so I'm going to read it to you. How many women are here? Actually, how many men are here? If there's any men, do you mind raising your hand? Any men here? Don't hide in the shadows. If there's any men, please stand up. Be that sacred masculine for us. Okay. All right, let me read this to you. This is for the men and women who might be listening, but definitely for the women. Okay, listen. Women gurus. Listen to this. Since 1990, on the fringes of the Aquarian age, we have seen women gurus again start to become famous. Historically, the great gurus were householders with husband and wife sharing an exaltated state of consciousness. Brahmarishi Vishata and Arudhati sage Atri and Anusanya, one of the leading experts on Lakshmi, and sage Agastya and Lopamudra are a few examples. I know none of these people. Most of the recent gurus have been men, but that is changing. There is an energy balancing going on. There are and will continue to be men who are genuine gurus, but there are also powerful, dedicated, and humble women through whom the Upa Guru is manifesting. I salute all true gurus in whatever form they represent themselves. Then there are the Jagat Gurus. There are beings with vast spiritual responsibility for the global welfare of humanity. In the West, we know very little about them, but their power and compassion are extraordinary. I've concluded that there may very well be some of those celestials I spoke up in the first part of the book who are not originally from here. That's all starseeds. Through the grace of God manifesting through my gurus, I've actually met and spent a little time with three of them: the Shankakara Chirayi, Sri Jayendra, and Vijayendra Saraswati, and a Jagat Guru from the Mahavadya traditions from Pejovar Math. And then he talks about the first Sadguru. Oh, this is interesting. The first Sadguru, according to Hindu scriptures, is being called Dattatreya. In the Narada Purana are mantras of attunement to this entity. The first mantra is a foundation mantra for Dattatreya. The second is a foundation mantra with certain seed sounds added. If you have a burning desire to be a true guru, either one of these mantras will aid greatly in obtaining that job. Listen to this. Om Dram Om Goro Dattaya Namaha. Om Dram Om Guru Dattaya Namaha. Om Shrim Reem Kleem Glom Dram Dattaya Namaha. Om Shrim Reem Kleem Glom Dram Dattaya Namaha. This is on page 226 of the book Chakra Mantras by Thomas Ashley Farron. You heard that mantra. Fantastic. Wow. So, yeah, suddenly out of the blue. And you know what? I really believe that. I remember going to a lot of temples, Hindu temples, where we had a lot of Western women, Hindu women, various types of women, all races and creeds and colors and sizes and whatever. But and I talk about this a lot. But there's particular Krishna temples I would go to that I love. One of them is in Culver City. So if you're ever in Culver City, go to that temple. It's fantastic. The Garuda is an angel. You'll see Garuda. And he is up on the second staircase. That particular temple is tiny but potent. And anyway, I would go up there and do my mantras. But the women, not all of them, okay? But many of the women, I would have prasadam, which is a holy food, which is food that has been chanted over. I used to donate time at the kitchen, and we would chant. We would chant the whole entire time we were prepping food. It was amazing. And they're having me do a puzzle again. It is the strangest thing. Amazing temple. I'm Hindu. You've been to that temple. Holy shit, that's awesome. So we would do prasadam, and like I said, I would do the cauliflower, the broccoli, whatever, right? And we would chant mantras. We would listen to kirtan and cook. And it was so much fun. I did that a lot. And I would go to the temple in the morning. At lunch, I would get my lunch at the cafe, the Govinda. The food was so incredible that I would have my little tin fin, my little metal, container, like you could call it a lunchbox, and I would go back at night and go up and meditate and chant and watch people chant. It was amazing. Sometimes I get up super early in the morning, like 4:00 in the morning, to be at the talks, the lessons. It's really worth it. If you're ever in LA, go to that temple. I went to the one in Las Vegas, and it was the worst experience. My mom kept saying, go to the temple, just go. And I was like, no, okay, fine, I'll go. And I went, I was like, oh shit, this is awful. It was the worst temples in Las Vegas, the best temples in Culver City. The second best temple, very good temple actually, is in Berkeley. It's a very tiny temple, but it's cute. It's really well done. And then the other temple that's good is in, hang on, I'm trying to remember. Shit. Yeah, I can't remember right now, but the other place that you may want to go is the Self Realization Center in Malibu. That's another place. Oh my God, that place is fucking to die for. That's if you've ever read Yogananda's book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, right? You go to the temple. It's a temple, and it recognizes all religions, all beliefs, all of the gurus, right? From Muhammad to Yeshua to Krishna to Buddha, all of them, and beyond. Anyway, when you go there, it's a massive garden. The most spectacular. There's a windmill. There's swans. You can actually go. There's a gift shop. You can actually go and relax. In Woodstock, in Overlook, there's another temple. It's a Buddhist temple, and they have prayer flags in all of the all the trees. It's everywhere. All the prayer flags, they're everywhere. You feel like you're in Tibet, I guess. It reminded me of back home Tibet, because I had a past life in Tibet, a couple. So yeah, those places are so important to your soul. It's very similar to going into Chartres or to the Notre Dame, or to go to St. Patrick's Cathedral on the east side in New York City. There's certain places that have potency. But anyway, going back to the female gurus, some of the women are they're so devoted. I mean, they do their 16 rounds, 108 chanting of a mantra for 16, 18 times, and that takes like 3 hours. And so they are so blissed out. It's amazing. So when you chant, like Andromeda was telling me, she's been chanting today all day, yesterday all fantastic that you're chanting. I chant all the time. It's probably why things are improving again. And let me see, what else can I tell you? Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. April 8th is probably going to be the most important date that you'll ever be involved in. More important than I think even any portals that have opened. I can't think of one more important than this one, because I've never seen people doing the exact opposite of what we want. So anyway, I'm going to let you go because I'm repeating myself and I'm going in circles, and I don't want to bore the hell out of you, but I want to send you a lot of love, and I want to say to you, thank you. I hope to see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern for the, the rehearsal, if you will, for April 8th. And then you guys will be cut loose to do your thing. Feel free to leave me any messages on the particular video I did on announcing this live tomorrow at 10 a.m. That's a good place to leave me a message if you don't have my phone number. If you have my phone number, please don't be shy. Just go ahead and text me. It's all good. I'm going to go to bed soon because it's like 12:12. I just saw the alarm. That happened a few minutes ago. And sending you much love. Sending you love as well. Thank you again, Tony. Namaste all. Namaste. Thank you, Becca and Nicole and all of you. Thank you, Metta. Thank you all. Namaste. Be well. Bye-bye.